what's up? Harley Roxx here from Rock Rage Radio with Worth from All the Pretty Things. Now, originally you were from He Is Legend, formed this
Correct.
emo scene supergroup, which is freaking awesome, by the way.
Thank
Um,
you.
so I was taking a listen to the album that y'all released in August,
Yeah.
Crows. Killer songs, man.
Thank you so much. We put a lot of love into that one, so I'm really happy to get it out there and hear people's thoughts.
Yeah, it was super awesome because, of course, I remember Teenage Lines came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I was excited to see that was on the album because I remember when I got sent that to play on Rock Rage Radio, and it was just like, I got super excited because I am an elder emo myself. So I just like to hear that all four of y'all got together and put this project together is just super rad.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean it was kind of it was birthed out of COVID. Like we were all just kind of stuck in our homes, and I think Tristan and I had been talking back and forth about forming a band, and we started exchanging demos, and then sent one to Logan, and then he sent back his vocals, like rough takes over it, and we were just like, I think this is the way to go. And then Tristan called Jeremy, and Jeremy was like, yep. So it worked out great. And we just did that first tour with Alisana and Vampires Everywhere, Half Heard Voices, and
Yeah.
Limbs, and it was fantastic. We had a blast, and we all it all just kind of gelled and came together really well. Like, couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because I actually just saw Alisana here out in Vegas. No, that must have been a great tour. I saw one of each leg of the tour. So that was
Right.
super fun dudes that you got to tour with.
Yeah, for sure. Were you out at When We Were Young?
I was, yes.
Nice. Yeah, I missed it this year, but I was there a
Oh
couple years
man.
back, and I think it was the inaugural year, and it was that was when they canceled it because of the wind.
Yeah, I was supposed to cover for Kitty that year, and they hooked us up with artist wristbands, everything, and then it didn't happen. So I was like, well, sad. But now we got to go this year though, and it was awesome. So much fun.
Awesome.
So much fun.
There's so many
But
people.
yeah.
Gosh, an enormous amount of people.
No, it's always fun. I think as an artist though, it would be fun to play something like that.
Oh yeah, it's a dream gig. Just
Right.
you're in front of, like, you're looking at the army from the Lord of the Rings or something. You're just like,
Oh,
oh
I know.
my.
That's
It's
cool.
pretty
So
special.
yeah, and I understand y'all definitely want to get back out on the road next year and, do some touring and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. We are currently talking to several different bands that we are friends with that we can't really announce anything yet, but it's in the works.
Sure.
So,
Awesome.
pretty pumped.
I hope y'all come down near me so, cover the show for you guys.
That would be sick. Are
Yeah.
you down in Vegas?
Between Vegas and Reno and Houston,
Okay,
I can
right on.
I'm pretty much everywhere. But you do have a new song release coming out soon, very soon, which is
Yeah,
actually a cover, as I understand.
yeah. It's actually a mix right now. We wrapped up, I think,
Ooh.
last week. We got everything done, and we sent it off to mix. So I'm eagerly awaiting first mix, and then when that's done, we're gonna try to get it out really quick.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it because actually the band that you're covering is a personal favorite of mine.
Really?
Um, yeah, I used to jam them a lot. I don't know if I can say or not, but
I mean, I have no idea. I don't really see.
okay.
We're doing a cover by this band
Yeah.
called Garbage from
Oh,
the
they're
90s.
so good.
They're so
Yeah.
fantastic. I actually listened
Yeah.
to 2.0 today, that record, and I was just like, man, they really crushed it.
I know, because I remember, I think the first time I heard them was off the Romeo and Juliet movie soundtrack, where they
Yeah.
had Number One Crush on there. And that's kind of like, then I heard Paranoid all over the radio. I'm like,
They
Shirley
just have this
Manson's freaking
vibe, man.
awesome.
They just have this sultry kind of, like, laid back vibe going on, you know. And I mean, I've
Yeah.
always been into their music, and when we were kicking around ideas for a cover, you know, that's a really tricky thing. Like more thought kind of goes into that than you would think. And
Well, definitely. I mean, I work with a couple of tribute bands and a cover band, so I kind of see like, kind of what y'all, deciding which cover to do. I mean,
right,
there's a lot
well,
out there.
when it came down to it, Tristan was a big fan of the band. I think you know, from that was one of his favorites from his earlier years, and he brought that one to the table, and that one made the short list. And then we were like, this is the
Nice.
one. So we had a good
That's
time with it. We definitely made it our own. We didn't do like this, you know, some artists
Ooh. Okay.
do a straight like note for note cover, and we you know we kept
Yeah,
the song structure the same, but we really added we took liberties. I hope the band will forgive us or praise us.
no, I always actually I really like hearing some original artists do their own version of the cover and like kind of their take on it, so it doesn't sound identical, because everybody
Yeah,
knows the song, but I feel like for you guys they want to hear y'all's interpretation of it. You know what I
yeah, of
mean?
course. Yeah,
So
and Logan's sister Corey, who actually sang on the record as well. She did all the female vocals on the record.
oh,
She sang on this one too. So I'm pretty pumped for you guys to hear that.
cool. Yeah, I can't wait to hear that. I'll have to send that over to me so I can play it on the Lucky 13.
Yeah, as soon as it's
Yeah.
done. I mean, like I said, we're making
Hell
moves to get
yeah.
that out. So
Cool, cool. So, I mean, being in previous bands, you must have some pretty wild tour stories though, right?
man, most of my stories are pretty mild, honestly. Like I was never a big partier.
Right.
Mainly just it's kind of like the circus, man. You know you get in the van and you drive for 6 to 8 hours, and then you get to the
Mhm.
venue and you set up, and then you've got a couple hours to check out local restaurant or something, and then you're
For sure.
playing, and then you're driving. So it's like I said, it's like the circus just kind of rolling through.
Awesome.
I do have one cool story though from like 2007.
Ooh.
We were on tour with it was a legend tour, and it was a headlining tour for the entire country, and we were out with this band called Modern Life is War.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've heard of them, but they are like the greatest dudes in the universe. But they were kind of rowdy,
Oh.
and they developed a little bit of bad blood with another band on the tour. And on the
Uh-oh.
last night of the run, like so, we'd been out for almost 2 months, and so the very last show, Modern Life is War, stops at their friend's ostrich farm, severs an ostrich's leg, and hides it in this band's bunk, which that band
Oh
was
my
mainly the Sons
god.
of Disaster. Hides it in their lead singer's bunk in their van, just as a crazy prank. But I mean, after that, everybody they got so livid, and the guys, denied it at first from Modern Life. They denied it, and then as they were leaving, like pulling out of the parking lot, as everyone said their goodbyes, they were like, "It was us." So it was pretty funny. But I mean, there's no real wild, crazy stories except for like,
Yeah.
oh wow, we almost got in an accident and died. But
Uh-oh.
yeah,
Don't want that.
that happened a couple times. But we miraculously survived.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, because I feel like, being in a rock band, you kind of maybe have like weird experiences, wild ones, particularly at the show, because I've seen a number. So,
Yeah.
you
For me,
know,
it was always like all business. Like, I mean, I started as a hired gun guitar player very early in my life, like 19, 20. So it was always like show up, be prepared, do your job, like just be super pro about it. And so I've really tried
yes.
to carry that throughout my entire career. And I've never been into partying, so it's just like, give me more music. Like that's my
Yeah.
thing.
That's awesome though. So
Yeah.
you got some things in your back pocket right now working on.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been recording and producing for about 18 years now. So I'm constantly working with different artists from all over the country. Just finished a 4-song EP for this great band out of Texas, called Heavy Thoughts. And, I was super pumped on that. Jesse from He Is Legend actually tracked the drums on that here at the studio, and it turned out really cool. But yeah, I'm constantly dealing with new music and new artists, and it's just like it's my thing. It's what I do.
super awesome. So is that like kind of, would you say like kind of like your day job?
Well, I actually my day gig, I am artist relations for Mojo Tone, which
Really?
we're a music company. We build guitar cabinets, we build guitar amps, pickups, small parts,
Oh.
and we deal with a lot of major players in the industry. So it's pretty cool to kind of like rub elbows with those guys and swap emails with people. I'm like, whoa, be cool, dude. Be cool, be cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah,
Now,
that's my day gig.
yeah,
So it's literally go to work, do all music there, coming home, workout, and now I'm in here doing more music.
that's awesome. Living the dream, huh?
trying,
You're trying. Yeah.
trying.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, at least in comparison to, when I first really got into rock and metal, I was like 14 with Slipknot, right? So, like, back
All right.
then, like, I feel it was a lot easier to, I guess, like, quote, make it and, do the touring thing. But, even my buddy, I'm sure CJ Pierce from Drowning Pool, even he's got a day gig. So,
Yeah, I mean,
I
at this
mean,
point in time, like
it's tough.
it is very tough. Especially, I still communicate with the Legend guys. I actually saw Adam, the guitarist, today. He came by Mojo Tone to get one of his guitars worked on. But I mean, those guys, they want to be out constantly because that's the only time they really make money. We as artists
Yeah.
don't really get paid anything anymore for our streaming. So it's really
Yeah.
about going out and selling T-shirts and hoping to put bodies in the rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Cool.
I mean, that's not why we do it. At least that's not why I do it. I do it because I absolutely love it and will do it until I
Yeah.
can. So, but it would be nice to keep the lights on.
Yeah. Right.
From working
Yeah. I
in the
mean,
industry. I'm grateful for everything I have. No complaints.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
To be able to have like that long of a career is great, and you're keeping it going.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, no, like, I can't wait to hear the new song though.
Yeah, it's gonna be rad. I'm really pumped on it. Like, of course I do like my rough mix and send it out to the guys and we'll get everyone's input. Like, hey, do we need to add anything? Take anything away? And everybody was like, yes, killer, go.
Awesome.
So it's a Bo Burchell who mixed the record is mixing the single too, and he's got it. He's wrapping up. I think he has another week in the studio with Chevelle. I think he's tracking Chevelle right
Oh, whoa.
now. But as soon as he's done with that, we're next up on the chopping block. So, like I said, it should be coming out
Sweet.
before the end of the year, hopefully.
Awesome. Well, I really look forward to hearing it. I appreciate your time.
Oh yeah,
'Cause,
thanks for having me, man. I
oh,
mean, I could talk about it
anytime.
all day long. You want to talk music
Dude,
or
me
anything?
too.
But thanks so much for the support. Like we really appreciate
Oh,
it. And
yeah.
we know, like you said, you heard the first single a couple years ago, and you've been like right
Yeah.
there ever since. So we totally appreciate it.
Yeah, no, and I can't wait to hear more, honestly,
Yeah. Well, we're
because
working on the next LP of material right now, so we're
sweet.
swapping new ideas back and
Awesome.
forth. So it's gonna be cool.
That's awesome. So do y'all got like kind of how do y'all write in terms of, is it personal experience or things you've been through maybe previously, not so much now, or how does that work?
Well, for me personally, as a writer, I focus more on musical content. As guitar is my primary instrument, but I can play keyboards, I can play bass, and I can play drums. So basically, like I just get a generalized concept in my mind, and then we'll just track out everything in Pro Tools. I'll program caveman fake drums and do that whole thing, and then I'll do like a verse, chorus, bridge, whatever, and then I'll send it to everybody like, hey guys, what do we think? Is this worth pursuing? And then that feedback loop starts, and we start working, like that, and then I'll get ideas from Tristan the same way, and so we really have this very open, almost like fearless communication with each other, where
Wow.
we're not worried about egos or any sort of back and forth in a negative kind of way. We just take criticism very well. I think we're kind of beyond that.
Yeah.
So but yeah, that's how we write. And then we
That's
get
awesome.
together once the song's kind of like skeletoned out. We got the basic arrangement done, and then we'll get in the room together and then start to work on the idiosyncrasies and just like the finer details.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always love asking that question because, of course, every band is different.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure. And
at one point, I
lyrically,
was, songwriting and doing, kind of wanting to write music. Not so much anymore. You know, radio kind of took over my life.
yeah,
So, but yeah, no, like there's a lot of people who kind of do the, throw their personal experience into that, and that's like their release.
right.
So it's
Well,
kind of cool to hear it, from a different perspective.
yeah, and I guess speaking more to like where the music's coming from, I know that I always try to have these big, more of a soundscape, as opposed to just riffing away, or like I really want to move you with dynamics in contrast in a song as far as a composer, and I really try to go for that. And I love being moved by music. Like if
Oh
I
yeah.
listen to a song and it gives me chills or makes me cry or makes me smile, job done, job well done to the band, to the producer, everyone. And that's what I constantly search for as a listener and as a producer and as a songwriter.
Yeah, actually, that actually happened to me today because I'm going over some songs for, this new project I'm working on, doing a tribute to Avril, actually. And
Wow.
one of her songs, my booking agent requested because there was a death in the family at a very young age. And now that I have that in the back of my mind, I'm like, I can't sing the song without crying.
I know.
It's
It's crazy how
just,
that happens.
and
Like my brother passed away back in 2020, and we played 3 songs at his funeral, and I can't even make it through any of those songs because
I
it's
believe it. Yeah.
but that's what music is. Music is this like almost like a time travel machine to get to that moment. If you
Oh,
you know if you make that connection and it moves you, you can always go back and revisit.
I
Sometimes
know.
for the
And
good,
that's,
sometimes for the bad, but at least you're alive.
yeah. Yeah. And actually, that happened to me when we were young, too, actually. It's just like, the songs that I heard, like, I was back in high school when they came out,
Oh
like,
yeah.
20 some odd years ago, 24 years ago was when, Simple Plans album came out. And I'm just like crying during the last song. I'm like,
Yeah, there was a lot
you
of
know,
streaming black eyeliner when we were young. A lot.
no, it was
But
fantastic. That would be
oh,
cool to actually, see you guys at one of those or like Warp
uh,
Tour. I
we're
mean,
working on it. We're working on it.
fingers crossed,
Yeah,
hopefully.
fingers
Yeah.
crossed. Yeah. That would be
Yeah.
great. I we're actively working on getting into the festival circuit. Can't talk.
Sweet. Yeah, that would be awesome to, because we're going to Warp Tour in DC,
Oh,
and
cool.
that would be really cool to see you guys there.
All right. Well, like I said, we're working on it. More,
Sweet.
more, more to come.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to it. I see your puppy in the background.
Oh yeah, this is my co-producer Lilu.
Oh,
Say hi, Lee.
cool.
You're a little blacked out. She's a Rottweiler mix. I've
Oh,
had her since she was about this big, and she has been here for every record that I've done in the studio.
that's
So
awesome.
it's pretty cool.
You're a
She's
little co-pilot.
my
That's
little
awesome.
co-producer dog.
Sweet. But thanks so much for taking the time. I look forward to seeing the progression of everything from here. It's
Thank you so much.
exciting.
Yeah, we appreciate the support once again. Like it means the world.
Anytime. Oh,
Yeah.
just anything y'all need, hit me up.
Same, same.
So I will.
All right. Thanks,
For
Harley. We
sure. Later.
later.